interesting. That's a very interesting question you asked, and I think your listeners should also understand it too. FDA in America actually does not, approve any product. They have a set of guidelines, and they assume people will follow that guideline. And you build your product in the facility that is approved by the FDA, and they can check the facility, all of that to make sure, that everything is up to that particular standard. But mostly it's up to a skincare company to uphold it. And like, for example, I can tell you currently, U.S. company, have about 300 or 400 ingredients they're not allowed to use because they're toxic, they're highly sensitive, like you say. But in Canada, there's over 1,000 or 1,500 that matter. Depends on where you look at.
You have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. Downloadable audio episodes can be found in the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie, Calls on Call Extraordinary Answering Service, as well as the Bold Business Book. And today we're welcoming / preparing to learn from May Young Lee, the founder and CEO of Ageless Zen. So May, how are you doing today?
I am doing great in this beautiful Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, that's excellent. Glad to hear it. Thanks for being on the show. Why don't you start with the foundation? What is Ageless Zen?
Well, Ageless Zen is a company, it's a startup company that I decided to build at this point of my life, which, it's very interesting. Many people ask me why I built this company at this time of my life. And because I really feel I'm not done yet. And for many years, I was searching for natural skincare for myself. And, but I find that I really couldn't find product that with key natural ingredient that really support my skin. So I started researching, experimenting, and testing on myself, basically trying to find a solution for myself. And, later on, I, finally find it after many, success and failure with different formulation. And I found what I needed. And I just thought, I'm always in, volunteering in nonprofit. Why don't I wrote the business model into helping nonprofit as well to start a foundation on top of it. So,
wow.
Yeah, so this has been a very interesting venture for me. And we are now, partnering with McAviver, which is a metastasized cancer patient network. And so their doctor endorsed our product and they use it. So we have nice, clean, and natural product, which I built for myself, really for personal needs. And now I know that many people is going to need it too. If I had the need, I will think other women, will also have this need. So I'm very proud, and we are rolling along.
So when did this idea first come about?
Well, it came about almost 7 years ago. A little bit of my background. My father actually was a herbal doctor in Hong Kong, and I was born in Hong Kong. So I saw him firsthand how he handled patient and really took care of the patient with natural herb and ingredients. And it works really well for them. And so I grew up with it, and I took a lot of those, Chinese medicine. So it's kind of deep down already in my blood, I would say, that I really like natural products. So at 2016, I met a researcher, and Michael Scott, and he actually had 30 years of experience in research, natural products, also with a team of researchers from different hospital and research center. So they have a deep bank of knowledge that I can actually draw on And so I decided, I need to build this company because I don't feel I'm done yet. And then, of course, after I find the formulation, after I search all the different natural ingredients, what is good for what formulation, then I decided to build it out and started a nonprofit and work with somebody like McAviver as our business model. So every time when we sell product through our community partner website, McAviver or whoever want to join us and this movement later on will get a really high commission. Like, for example, like we gave out 30% of our proceeds to them. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Tell me, so you previous to this were not in the skincare realm or
Mm-mm.
chemistry realm or anything even remotely close to doing something to do with skincare, natural ingredient skincare. Is that right?
That's correct. I've actually, as a self-taught investor, and doing quite well. I've done quite well and raised my two kids and family and my dogs, and so I was pretty happy with life. Basically, I did achieve the American dreams, and I was very proud of myself for my hard work. Uh, but now this is really taken to a different level because I feel that I'm able to give back now, through this initiative. So I'm really happy and excited about it, and I'm hoping that to get basically some awareness from other people. They know that we support school, we support any other nonprofit, and we'll campaign together. Like McAviver, our key partner, will be campaigning with us this week. When we go to trade show, we tell people about it and about our relationship with nonprofit.
All right, very cool. So your product, how long did it take you from a timeline point of view? How long did it take you to figure out what you're going to create? And then from there, once you figured out what you want to create, how long did it take to actually put together the formula and figure out what works and what doesn't work and all that?
Yeah. Well, because it's a science-based product that we created in here with our scientists. And so usually the process is that once when I have an idea, particularly, something I need, like a cleanser, so then they will look at it and then I will check out the ingredient they recommended and test it on myself. And so the whole process, it depends on, I should say, how I feel about that product actually works for me. And so some of the creams that we created, they will come faster, maybe about 6 months to develop it. But the cleanser itself, it took a year because it includes the pro powders and it's an old Chinese recipe. The old Chinese lady, they use a pro powder and to exfoliate their face away from all the dead skin cells. And also pro itself contain moisture because it got a lot of natural minerals in it. So we put in the frankincense oil so the skin won't get dry after you wash it. And also we put like Manuka honey. So it's a natural antibacterial. So just all these the different ingredients that we put in, it to make it work together and then have the right pH for the face. It took a while. So that's why it took a long time. And I personally, because I'm making all this product to use for myself and my friends, so I have very high standard. Sometimes, let people say, you're so mean, I work so hard and, I'm trying to create this and you say it's not good enough. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not good enough, it's not good enough. So it's not good enough for me. It wouldn't be good enough for my friend and other people. Yeah.
Fair. So when you tried, let's say, some of these newer entry level stuff, and they're like, hey, here's product number one or product number two or attempt number one, let's say, you put on your face, how did you know it wasn't good initially? Did you break out in hives or anything like that? Or was it kind of itchy? Or how do you know that it's not necessarily good right away?
Well, one particularly indication is that even natural product, there are people sensitive to natural ingredients, right? We know that. Even some people cannot eat stone food, and and so forth. And for me, I use many product before, and they are generally a little high in chemical, which that's why I didn't like it. And that's what you say, the breakout factor, the dry out factor, and a lot of them are too aggressive. Like some of the vitamin A product, uh, they just appeal you so much that your face become more and more sensitive. I mean, personally for me. And so I'll make sure that I know enough, have enough experience by using different product. Okay, so that's number one. I know that. So I can look at the ingredient, and I did my own research and find out in literature and what is easier to get sensitivity, what is less, and what kind of natural ingredient probably work well with other natural ingredients, because you have to make sure that they also work well together. They're not fighting each other. So when they're fighting each other, that's what people also get a higher chance of sensitive, with sensitive skin. So the wonderful thing that I think I have an edge is, number one, I have some education from my father, knowing, more or less a lot of the herbs. And then the second thing also is because I have a nice scientific team that is backing me up, and they know they have done 30 years of research. If some of the ingredients are particularly highly sensitive or even toxic, or whatever, we will never use it because the science team already know. Yeah. So that's our advantage.
All right. So help me understand the industry, because I don't know anything about facial
Yeah.
cleansers or creams or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
probably more than obvious. Is this Does government FDA approval or anything like this get involved, or can anyone just put something on the shelf and be like, yeah, it does this?
Well,
And
interesting. That's a very interesting question you asked, and I think your listeners should also understand it too. FDA in America actually does not, approve any product. They have a set of guideline, and they assume people will follow that guideline. And you build your product in the facility that is approved by the FDA, and they can check the facility, all of that to make sure, you know, that everything is up to that particular standard. But mostly it's up to a skincare company to uphold it. And like, for example, I can tell you currently US company, have about 300 or 400 ingredients they're not allowed to use because they're toxic, they're highly sensitive, like you say. But in Canada, there's over 1,000 or 1,500 that matter. Depends on where you look at it, is organic or non-organic, and you cannot use those chemicals. And then in EU, they have over 3,000 chemicals. They're not allowed people to use it in their product, and they're much more strict. So we use our EU standard. So our product actually is a register. We do need to register in EU. So we are successfully registered in EU and currently also registered in China, which took 4 years to register because, as an American company, they are throwing a lot of curveball at us. And it's not so easy, but we achieve all our goal, and, very, very proud to have all the batches that, we come through. So if your listener are listening to your podcast, and when they go out there to find skincare product, it will be, I personally think it's safer if they don't know anything about the company and trying to find a European brand. Just knowing that because they have a lot higher standard than American brand. American brand is really based on the American company, what is their ethic and how they want to, build their products.
it's interesting you say that, because I was, where was I at? I was at a buddy's house, stayed overnight, and I was using, I don't know what he had in his shower. I think it was Irish Spring soap, and I looked at the ingredients. It was a little pump bottle, whatever, and it had essentially food coloring in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was yellow and blue or if it was actual green food coloring, but whatever it was, I just remember food coloring in there. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
not food coloring, it's just dye. And I'm like, if I had dye that I spilled on my hands or body or whatever, I would want to use soap to remove it, not to add dye. So it just blew my mind that this is soap. That I don't know what color soap is normally. I assume it's white or off white or something like that. That
Hmm.
they thought, hey, this is going to sell better if we make it green. So let's just pump some dyes in there, slap it on the shelf, and move on with their life. It just seems like some of the ingredients, if
Hmm.
people were asked, hey, do you want fake food coloring in your soaps?
The,
And most people would be like, nah, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. Let's just have soap in my soap.
yes,
So
yes.
it's a weird, I guess from my point of view, my whole point of the statement here is I'm wondering, why do manufacturers put all this weird stuff into their creams, their soaps, whatever, when I mean, maybe I'm biased. I don't think the general population really wants it.
You're absolutely right. The general population, if they are educated, they won't want any of this at all. Then that's the point that also I'm trying to make. I came out to do something because I have this personal need. It's very hard for me to find anything, that particularly overnight to support my skin needs. And as I'm aging, I'm getting this more and more focus about, hey, how I'm going to be able to keep myself healthier with healthier skin. Maybe beauty is only skin deep, but also all the chemical, like you say, using on your body every single day, twice a day, or whatever you want to use it, and it go into your system and your body absorbs it. So I was much more careful, now what am I going to do? And, understanding the practice, how my father helped his patient, it really, really come to me in a like, come to a Jesus moment. It's like, do you really need to do all this chemical to make yourself looking like this? Or you can find amazing ingredient. It's already in nature. Mother Earth already provide. You just need to put them together in a way that they work well together. So that is no shortcut about it. And unfortunately, like you said, a lot of company, they are about driven by their bottom line. And if you're looking at a lot of industry, the beauty industry, you see the board member are mostly gentlemen, the men, and they really don't, understand and use a lot of skincare to get to the point that they want something very specific. And being a woman and with my background, I just feel that I'm just in the right place, that I can produce a line of natural product and build a company that people can trust. So when people go to Ageless Zen, first thing they know is that we don't use any synthetic fragrance. Okay, all our products, we also have men product. All our products are scented with a natural oil because the purpose of that oil. For example, when you're talking about soap, we have a man cleanser, which you can wash your hair and wash your entire body with natural oil, and the soap is made from coconut. Okay. And so that natural oil we put in, Yolane Yolane, that's the name of it, it actually helped to control um, the oil secretion and the body. So actually, if you use a good product, it helps you to regulate your cells and body. So some people, maybe they don't have to use a lot of deodorant, so that is the goal. So every time when we develop a product, a lot of thought go into it, and then because of the knowledge we also have, so we add all of those together. And if the product is not good enough, it never come out. If it is a product, it passed our high standard and my personal high standard also, then yes, then we're ready for market. Unfortunately, most of the company, whether is European company or American company, Asian company, it doesn't matter. they basically have a lot of investor and they want to get the money faster and they want to push their product out there. So a lot of the product actually is manufacturing by a handful of contract manufacturing. They based on the marketing angle, they just put whatever ingredient because that's their marketing angle. So they push it out and then spend a lot of money in commercial marketing and TV ad or whatever. Basically, marketing. They put most of their money into marketing and it's not into their product. And we are kind of the opposite. We went the other way. We say we want to have a line of really high standard product. Is safe for people to use, and we have children product, all natural. Safety is very important for, excuse me, for me, because I have family. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it's not about how much money you make. It's about the process. Whether you make responsible product that it benefit others. And now I'm even more excited because not only I feel we achieved that, but we're also trying to help the community.
Very cool. Very cool. I remember reading an article from a journalist that was specific to the car culture. And essentially, he said that he was interviewing a guy that owned a company that did performance parts. And the guy essentially said what you're saying, that why spend so much money on engineering when I can just spend the money on marketing and people will buy it either way. It really doesn't matter if it works or not.
Yeah,
And it was one of those things like, oh my gosh, which ad am I looking at that the person didn't spend the money on engineering? They only spent it on the marketing because they figured, it doesn't matter. People sell it, they slap it in their car, and whatever. It's all placebo, essentially, just based on marketing.
yeah. Unfortunately, it's a trend. It's been around for a long time, but I feel that the industry is changing now because consumer is demanding it, and consumer now with between AI and the internet and all that, they are more accessible with information. So if they look up an ingredient, at least they can cut and paste, and go on the computer and see, oh, is this toxic or is like you say food coloring or what is this? So if a consumer are willing to spend a little time to look up some of this, and they will find good product. And I think there are people like Ageless Zen and trying to create good product and healthy for everybody. So younger generation also because they're more savvy with the computer, and so they can do their research a lot deeper. So I'm happy about that. But I just want to build a brand that is leading and basically and say this is what we do. We flip it upside down, right? We start with the basic to build the best product we can build and know how to build, and then we go out there to market and let people know about it.
I suppose it makes sense because, I mean, even the timeline now, if we have an ingredient that we're seeing at the store shelves or on a website that we're at, we don't know what it is. In a few seconds, we can figure it out.
Yeah,
Where 20, 30 years ago, you had to go to your Encyclopedia Britannica and try to look up whatever. How did you spell that thing, right? And hope that there was an entry in one of those 25 books or whatever
yeah,
to
yeah.
see if we can figure out just what in the world that 75 syllable word actually is. So,
Well,
yeah, we definitely have information much easier to get now. Tell me a story about the ingredients. You have these natural ingredients. You figure out the ones that work. You got the scientists and all that jazz to figure out what works. Some of these ingredients, I imagine, are not necessarily easiest in the world to find. I don't know if it's, I don't know, crocodile teeth or whatever it is. Just some, like I'm sure coconuts, no problem. But maybe there's some obscure thing from a beetle that's only in South Africa or something like that.
no,
How
no,
do
no,
you
no.
how do you get all these ingredients, and like are they showing up in 55-gallon drums? Are they showing up in huge bags? Tell
Well,
me a little bit
like
of story, just
sure.
outsider who has
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, so yeah, interesting you asked, James, because um, well, first of all, the knowledge is important. Where you source the ingredient is important, and since you were talking about the cream, so let me ask you: most of the cream or anti-aging product, what color is it? Do you know?
I think white.
Yes. Is it anything in nature kind of white?
I would think fat. Like I don't. I'm just thinking of Fight Club, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No. So the answer is that you're right. Most of the product out there, they buy from chemical company and in Jones, in different big Jones, and then they pour it in, mix it up, and they understand their chemistry, of course, and they make interesting product, but they're not natural. Our product is different, and we're talking about the ingredient. One of them I personally really, really love, and you can research about it and tell your wife or significant other about that. Is a Seaberry, which is called the name called sea buckthorn, which is a small, tiny yellow. I mean, wouldn't say yellow, it's like golden orange almost, a fruit that you can find in high altitude in the Himalayas or the Russia, that kind of provinces. And now it's more populated in the U.S. Some of the farm they actually grow them themselves, and we are in high altitude, so we also grow that in here. So what this plant has is amazing because they have to survive such a harsh environment. So they pack themselves all in the fruit with different omega fat chains, the omega, 3, 6, 7, 9. I mean, it's amazing. Those oils are very beneficial for anti-inflammatory for our cells inside our body. And they also have all the other food vitamins in it. Okay, so this is one of our to go to. Like we created a seaberry serum that we blended this oil that we made from this seaberry, okay, with other beneficial oil because sometimes 100% seaberry oil is not good for you because it's too intense. So how you blend it out and balance a formula that almost 99% of the population use it will be very safe and will do no harm, and will continue to draw the benefit. So that's very important. That's one ingredient. The other ingredient we also have is a niacinamide. Niacinamide is a vitamin B product. Actually, you can ingest it. Some people actually took it as called a niacin, but ingesting something is hard to do the dosing. You don't know how much you need to take it not to harm yourself, basically. So we only use it in topical, and topical is amazing, and a certain percentage had to be controlled also, because if you don't control it, like you say, right, your skin will get overstimulated. Basically, it open up and dilate the blood vessel underneath the skin, so you have a little flushing, your face feel a little tingling. That means working, but you don't want your face to hurt, right? So again, it's about the dosing. How much percentage you add to it to build a balanced product most of the population can tolerate, but also bring good benefit. So that's just a two ingredient, and then of course all our product is in aloe base. You know aloe, right? Aloe is I would say 98% water, but they're different type of water because they have all the different fatty acid and long chain, short chain, chemicals in it. But they're biochemical, but they're not like man-made chemical. So it help is like it's in a car. You put all this ingredient on the aloe, and the aloe will help to kind of draw it in when they, infiltrate your skin and contact with your skin. So all of those is a lot of science and a different way to approach different ingredient. So I'm just kind of giving you a short version of it.
So let's just take aloe for example. Are you getting aloe? I suppose aloe. I'm thinking of aloe lotion. So do you get big drums of aloe, or how is the aloe showing up to your manufacturer?
Well, we have two type, and we like it to blend because you also have to look at the economic also, right? To hire a lot of worker and trying to shut out the aloe to take the inside of the aloe out, it's just way too difficult. And they have manufacturing, like you said, they already did it, and they come with the juice, and then we'll just buy the juice, and then we'll come in this way. Yeah.
Gotcha. So are you? This is so interesting because I'm thinking of manufacturing stuff like this and then ending up putting it in a bottle or a jar or whatever you're doing. I'm just there's got to be some kind of cauldron or big machine or somebody's mixing or something like that. So when they manufacture, let's just pick your top seller, whatever that is. How big of a container or a machine are they putting this thing into to mix it up?
Well, right now, all our stuff, we have a lab that is up in Lake Tahoe. We have two buildings in here. And, one of our building is like a 12,000 square foot. It's not very big, but it's not too small. And we actually can make lab batches. The lab batches we make because natural product, James, we have to be careful and make sure they're fresh, and we don't want them to sit on the shelf. Even though we have a particular bottles for some of our very high-end expensive cream because they're natural and also very, very, very little, preservatives are put in it. We use natural preservative even. And so we have a patented bottle that actually will airless. Okay, so you don't pay $155 to get a bottle of cream that you use your hand to take it out, because every time when you have this kind of a contact, you actually contaminating your cream. So in general, most of the product, they use that because they have a lot of preservatives in it. Okay, that obviously is not very good for you, number one. And number two is that the packaging is a lot cheaper for them. So everything, as you know in the podcast, when you make business decision, you have to decide how much money you want to put in your packaging, how much money resources you want to put into ingredient and marketing, all of that. So we choose to do it at handcraft batches. So they're small. They make a couple hundred, 300 bottles for us. So it doesn't have to be very big. So it's large enough. And so that's one batch. It's a very, very small batch in the cosmetic industry. So we are different. Now, it may come to a day we need help as we grow to make larger batches. Then we will not have the capacity to do it on our lab. And we have to go out to find out which manufacturing actually will fit our standard. And we will oversee it, and then even still making small enough batches like 15,000, or 10,000 each time, but never like those huge company, they make 50,000 each time, because also natural ingredients, sometimes it depends on season, right?
Oh,
And
sure.
yeah, the plant, do we have just like drinking wine, sometimes you have a good year, the grapes are fantastic. Sometimes you have, I don't know, maybe a drought, so maybe that ingredient not available. So we have to look at all of this. So handcraft is important, but also have the ingredient that is, like you said, is not so difficult to source that a lot of time you can find them, then it defeat the purpose. So, so
Tell
it's
me,
it's balance. Yeah.
yeah, you raised an interesting point about the preservatives and stuff like that. Because I imagine if you're using all natural ingredients, it's essentially like food. I mean, you're not eating it, but it's something
That's what.
that's not necessarily going to be shelf stable for decades or anything like that. So do you
No.
have to put expiration dates and stuff like that on the product?
Course, of
Okay.
course. Yeah. So we are able to achieve that with that special bottle, to have the stability of our cream for 2 years
Okay.
with natural ingredient, natural preservative. A little bit synthetic, yes, we do have to use it because we have to go through all the tests, and make sure microbes not grow on it, and make sure they're stable. All of those, yes. So we don't claim we are all natural in our anti-aging line. We are natural as possible, like 85 to 95% natural. That's what we are.
Okay. And now tell me, when you get the ingredients,
Hmm?
those ingredients, I imagine either they have to have preservative added to them, or they have to be in some fancy airtight container or something like that. And you have to make sure that you use it fast enough or it'll expire and go bad, I imagine, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But again, it's all about the technique and the experience in the industry. Like, I will never jump into this industry if it's not because the scientists that I met and the lab knowledge they have, and a lot of research that they got into it. So all of this make a big difference, basically, in terms of how your product actually is it shelf stable, or you have the really amazing ingredient that really produce great result. Like our night cream is one of them. It's just phenomenal night cream, and we have before and after picture to prove it. So we really, like I say, I'm really proud. Yeah.
I have to admit ignorance here. What is night cream?
Okay, that is a different type of cream, right? One is used during the day, and one is using during the evening when people sleep. And our particular night cream actually have what we call the peptide matrix in it, which is from natural source from an egg. So without getting into too much of the detail and the science and driving everybody crazy in the podcast, all I can say is that this is serving more like an invisible mask. So when you put it on at night before you sleep, it's invisible, so nobody can see it. But what happened is that all the nutrition will start to infuse inside deep in your skin. And so you started to getting the benefit, the tightening of your skin with less wrinkle. All of those actually does work. Some people say, "Oh, it's no way. You can just put this on and nothing, and no wrinkle and no nothing." It actually is possible. It just cut down on your body, how they metabolize, all those natural ingredients. If they're metabolized correctly and able to stimulate your skin to do its job, because our body can regenerate. So skin cell is the same. So you feed them good thing, you give them the right thing, they will do a wonder for you. They will be amazing for you. So I don't want people to lose hope and say, no, this will never work. That's not true. It actually, some of them have worked really well.
All right. I guess I didn't even know the difference between night cream and day cream. So I was just one of those, like, I've heard of cream, but I don't know the
Okay,
difference between
let me
day
in
and
a
night.
short
But I meant, so is
okay,
daytime you
let me
can
in a
put.
short version. I'll tell you day cream and night cream the difference. Okay, really short.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, day cream you use it during the day. Okay, usually in ideal situation, you want that day cream to be able to protect you from the environment and seal your face in a sense that they won't lose too much water, because once when you lose a lot of hydration, then you have more wrinkles. Okay, so the day cream is for that purpose. And the night cream for us is about repairing. Okay, so when you're sleeping, your body is doing a lot of work to repair itself, right, while you're sleeping. So if you have a product able to synchronize actually with your sleeping at night, so while it's working and rejuvenating and all that, you deliver the nutrition, you deliver and all the anti-inflammatory right into the cell when they open up to repair. So one is more for repair at night, that's called the night cream. And one is more for protection during the day. So day and night. So
Got it. Well, that makes sense. I suppose daytime you're going to want some type of sunscreeny type ingredient.
Yes, on
Where
top of it, you want to have sunscreen also. Yes.
all right, we're nighttime, probably not sleeping in the sun. So all right,
Yeah.
so
So you want something to help you to repair, patch up all the cells that if they have a problem and they need to rejuvenate them, you give them some good food. And then here you go. They say, oh, I'm feeling happy now.
I get it. Okay, let's shift gears into packaging. Because
Okay.
packaging of a product, I imagine that's a challenging thing because you got to figure out what size, what is it going to look like, what is the interaction the customer has with it, is it going to fit on the store shelf and all that jazz. So tell me, how did
Yeah.
you figure out the whole packaging?
Well, since you're so interested, so let me show you. Okay, I talked about the cleanser before. The packaging of the cleanser is just a very ordinary, very normal, very ordinary
Sure.
because it's a soap base. This is the one with the pearl dust I told you for exfoliation. This is the cleanser. This cleanser, I tell you, our product both men and women can use because it's about healthy skin. It's not that much about adding color and doing all the other crazy thing. So this is very ordinary,
Is
right?
that a glass bottle or plastic bottle?
And right now this is a plastic bottle, but we come with two sizes, so we can basically use it, as a big bottle. But we are working on, like you said, change it into glass. Yeah, because
Okay.
but
I
then
imagine I mean, there's pro cons, right? Because glass is heavy and glass
yes,
can break, so it's more fragile.
yes, yes, and then like this particular bottle that we have. So look, you turn, it come up, it click,
Wow, look at that.
and then it pump. Okay, and then when you need to close it, you close it back up like this.
Clever.
So look, no air is going in and out of it. And this is also an environmental package. So when you open the bottom here, and this insert can be replaceable. So you don't have to throw away the whole thing,
Oh, how clever is
once
that?
when you finish it. And so the reason why we use this kind of bottle is because not only environmental friendly, we can replace the insert, but it's also airtight.
Okay.
So it won't give you an opportunity to use your hand to go like this. Some of the product out there, $300 product, $500 product, they still open like a jar and then you dip your hands in it.
I'm just thinking. So I have dry hands in the winter. I got this stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's white, and I just dip my hands in there,
Yeah, and it's
especially if I'm
white,
working
right?
on a car or something like that. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We're so conditioned, by the industry to use a product that is a lot easier for them to make and is a no-brainer for them, and they can make a tons of money.
All
Uh,
right. So that cap that you had, that seemed pretty revolutionary.
yeah, that's patented. Yeah.
So did you design that, or did one of your scientists design that, or how did that come about?
Well, actually, I designed it, and I work with a factory in China. So we have a patent both in China and in America.
Okay. And tell me about the design of the bottle, because that had curves to it. It wasn't just a straight up and down cylinder.
Yeah, the reason why it has curve to it, we want men or woman, whoever use this product, to have curve.
All right.
Right?
That's awesome.
Is healthy, and we don't want someone that is using product and make them feel bad or make them look fat or anything. So it's all about good thinking.
All right. It's so interesting because a lot of times when it comes to food or stuff like this, just health and beauty products, to me, a lot of times the stuff inside is interesting, but the packaging is just compelling to me because there's so many decisions that had to be made.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's so interesting. How did you choose the colors, the font, the design? How did you figure out, hey, can we get 10,000 of these bottles, or do we have to buy them by 10, or do you have to buy 5 million of them to get them?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
And then
You're right.
putting the product in the bottle,
Hmm.
I suppose you have to have an opening that's big enough so that you can actually put it in there, and it's
It's
not
a
going to
lot
take
of
10
Yeah,
years.
you're right. There's a lot of technical things involved, and a lot of consumer they don't understand And from either the lab or the farm, to the shelf, there's a lot of process involved. And fortunately, I like design, and so I love to design things, and that's part of my strength. So I design all our packaging. The reason why our packaging is orange, green, because it's Seaberry color. Remember I told you about the Seaberry. I love Seaberry, and Seaberry oil is amazing. And the aloe, that we use, and it's really good for our skin and also our body. So that's also why. And then the white one is the pearls. Yeah, that
Oh, clever.
yeah. So that's why three major color. They're so different, and we use the color because we want to celebrate the ingredient that we use. So
That is cool. Tell me, there's a plant picture behind you.
yeah.
Is that plant representative of anything that ends up in your products?
Actually, it's a natural plant that I actually find in Cuba. When I was visiting Cuba, and I have an artist and draw this for me, and I didn't even remember the name of the plant, honestly. But I have to go back to do some research about it. It's supposed to be also very beneficial for our skin and our body.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's so many stuff out there, James. I'm telling you, nature had provided us with so many amazing ingredients. We just have to look, and yes, we have to research, of course. And but if we look around us, and yeah, everything green, they may be a special purpose, and we just haven't discovered it yet. And as you know, pharmaceutical company, in order to be able to patent, they have to isolate a particular molecule so they can patent. But we don't. We use the whole plant to extract, because the whole plant contain, plant chemical that they balance itself. So you don't have to, sometimes, as you know, some of the chemical, if you use this and you have a side effect, then you have to use other thing to counterbalance it. But if you are doing skincare, and if it's a natural extraction from the full plant, that means all the molecules, plant chemicals are inside. So they counterbalance themselves. Okay, so you get the benefit, and then you don't have a whole lot of shortcoming or problem, when you use it. So we really pushing ourselves to use full plant extraction. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, clever. Tell me, let's shift gears really quick into marketing.
Mm.
You got the cool products, you got the cool packaging, you got the scientists, the manufacturing, all that jazz. Now you got to bring it to market. What have you found has worked for you as far as marketing goes, besides being on incredible podcasts, right?
Well, that's such a great question, James. Uh, I have to be the first one to admit, because I'm not a marketing person. I want to build a great product, and I all the great things you mentioned about quality control, design, all of those. Yeah, it is my wheelhouse and the lab's wheelhouse. Okay, yeah, we can do all that, but marketing, no, we're no clue. So we have to try different way to tell people, about us, and tell our story. And so, of course, thank you for taking me on. So I'm telling you my story here. But also, I really think that a good model will be if I collaborate with nonprofit. Not only I'm helping them, and they can also help me to spread the word. Okay, and we are not a company trying to go out to blow out the world to make $1 zillion. We're at this stage of our life. We want on the spot for ourselves. We want something to be able to benefit the community. Okay, so in order to do the marketing that we're talking about, like big poster in front of the subway, or I mean, we don't have that kind of strength. Okay, we can. So going to some of these podcasts, and tell our story, and then working with nonprofit, it really, I think it help us, because people trust, like when they listen to your podcast, they trust, you only put people that you think they're honest, they have integrity, and what they said, it meant what they said. And then working with nonprofit is the same. And they try our product, the doctor try our product, they knew they're good stuff, and they want to work with us. So right now we're just focusing on this angle.
Got it. It makes sense. I love it. Tell me about the nonprofit that you mentioned. I have to admit that I'm not familiar with that. So go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, we started a 501c3 nonprofit. It's called the Ageless Zen Circle of Giving Foundation. It's similar to Newman's Own. You heard about Newman's Own Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So when we make up money and we donate to the foundation, and the foundation will hire a staff, and then we'll go out there to help the school and teach them how to do fundraising with their parents, and tell them about our product. And so then when they when the sales go on, Ageless Zen will do fulfillment and continue to provide the product, and also any kind of customer service, from return to speed post, And then the foundation itself, we have 4 pillars. One is very dear to our heart, is woman empowerment. And also we have skin cancer research. And then we also have children, particularly food program for children. And then we also are very big on animals, because I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs. I mean, I can see some of those dogs out there being mistreated. And as human, some of us are not very responsible people. So that is a 4 pillar in this foundation. We would like to help and use our very unique, clean, natural product to teach people they can achieve the goal they want to achieve with less wrinkle, healthier skin, healthier body, and and then they can help their community. So teaching them how to fish, instead of just keep giving them the fish, it's important, it's another source. But I think when they build out their following and they want to support their nonprofit, they can get really good donation from our foundation.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Tell me, the products that you offer. How many products do you have? How many different products do you have now available?
Yeah. Now we are focusing the product that, because we actually, because of COVID and we spent extra time, we delayed the marketing piece of it because of COVID. Instead, we spend more time in the lab and create more products. Because it's just me, James. If you know me, I just want to make more things. So now we have 12 products, and the anti-aging products, we are right now marketing the most because I feel that really, really help a lot of people. Our baby products are amazing, of course, and some of them, they have bumps, they have all this. If they put it on, within a week or 2, everything gone. It's not because our product is so magical. Our product, it just doesn't have a lot of crabs in it. Okay, so it doesn't irritate the kids' skin, because their skin is so delicate, and also the environment and all those things that it's making our kids have a lot more skin problem. But in reality, if you just give them good, simple, natural stuff, all those problems will go away. So
nice.
That's my experience so far with some of the kids using our product. But the kid product, we can really marketing in a higher margin. And so for us, even though we're doing all this great work, we still have to let people know, and we still have to pay our staff, some basic stuff we need to cover, right? So we're hoping that the anti-aging part, if we can get that part become people understand and popular, and then, so we're focusing right now on the anti-aging part of it. And for both men and women can use it, because it's about skin health. It's not about so much about vanity. But having healthy skin, what I mean, it turn into happier person, a beautiful person. Because, when you have healthy skin, you don't have to put a lot of makeup on to cover anything. And we have a lot of before after picture. People now is sending back to us and tell us, oh my God, I didn't even know that your product can treat acne. And my daughter just grabbed it from my counter and using some of them, and now their acne's are gone. I say, well, it's true, because it's not about acne. It's about rebalancing your skin's chemistry. So they become healthier. So now if they're healthier, then they won't break out. So it's just a very simple, commonsensical approach. And if they go out to buy a lot of chemical to try to treat their acne, a big part of it, their skin will become more and more sensitive because they're irritated by those chemicals. So that's who we are.
Nice. I love it. Tell me, May, the locations where people can buy this. Is it exclusively on your website, or where all is it available for people to get?
Yeah. Actually, they can buy our product through our website, agelesszen.com. Okay. And they can go to Amazon if they feel like that, they are used to shopping in Amazon. And we also have a Shopify, it's agelesszen.us. But if they actually want to help their own community, including new gyms, and if they have school they know, and they have nonprofit they knows, then it can help with some resource. We're happy to onboard them. Of course, they have to be either school or a 501c3 organization. So our foundation can send a counselor out there and teach them how to catch fish and to benefit them.
Nice. I love it. May, can you tell us that website one more time?
Okay. agelesszen.com. Okay. Or Amazon. Agelesszen and Amazon.
All right, we've heard of that last one, right?
Right. And also, I'm going to, if you can type it fast enough, and I'm going to tell you our nonprofit website. It's for AZ, like Z for zebra, communitypartnership.com. That is exclusively for the nonprofit.
Is partnership plural or singular?
It's singular. So
Okay.
acommunitypartnership.com.
Awesome.
Okay.
May, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yo, thank you for having me and give me the opportunity and platform to, tell the world we got good stuff here.
Yeah, right. It sounds like you have incredible stuff. I think it's amazing that you've gone from being successful in other areas of your life to doing something that's really making the world a better place this way with all natural skincare. I guess I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah,
But it's super cool. It's interesting that you entered an industry you really didn't know anything about on the backside, and just you're doing well with it. So that's incredible.
well, I believe that no matter how our age is, we have the ability to start something new, and it's a matter is we whether take the first step. If we take the first step, and even though the certain thing is not exist to us right now, but we can create it. Human being a very, very creative species, and we have a lot of resource right now. So I really encourage people, whether they want to start a skincare company or start a coffee shop, if they are not done, just keep doing it and keep going and see whether you make an impact.
Hustle every day. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphs and successes of business owners across the land. My name is James Kateman, and Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services for service businesses across the country on the web at callsoncall.com, as well as the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur in all of us, available wherever fine books are sold. If you're listening or watching this on the web, if you could do us a huge favor, keep the algorithm happy, give it the big old thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, share it with your entrepreneurial friends, especially those friends that may be looking for some all-natural skincare or just want some interesting advice in the entrepreneurship space. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guest, May Young Lee, the founder of Ageless Zen. May, could you tell us that website one more time?
Yes. Your listener can go to agelesszen.com, or we are also available in Amazon. And our nonprofit is accommunitypartnership.com. And we're really trying to work with different schools or different nonprofit to help them because personally it's an important endeavor for me to be able to help the communities. And actually, that's something that I come out to work. That's the reason.
Nice. I love it. It's good to have a motivator, a driver to get things done.
Yeah, thank you. And
Perfect.
just send me an email or look us up anytime and let me know if you have a school and need some help. We're here to help.
Sounds great. Past episodes can be found morning, noon, and night at the podcast link, found at drawincustomers.com. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome. And if you do nothing else, enjoy your business.